Hello everyone, I am Ashwini Saurabh Mitras from Department of Statistics from RBNB College, Srirampur. So in my last lecture, we have started the sampling methods, which are random sampling methods, SRSWOR, SRSWR. These are simple random sampling methods. Also we have studied the stratified sampling method, in which we make the stratas and then select the sample from each strata. Note that here the population is heterogeneous. Now the next method for sampling is systematic sampling. So, as the name suggests, it has a systematic method and systematic way to select the sample from population. So, this method tells us that suppose we are having a population of capital N units, then we arrange these capital N units in the order that is 1 to up to N. And suppose we want to select the sample size small n. So this is our required sample size. Then we make n upon capital N equal to k, that is k number of groups. So this is form. So 1 to up to k groups we make. So observations are arranged 1 to up to k, then k plus 1, k plus 2, in this way we make the groups. So these are the k groups, and suppose the jth element can be selected from this group. So this is j. So if the jth element is selected out of these k groups, then our sample will consist of these items, means j, j plus k, j plus 2k up to so on j plus n minus 1k. So this is our sample, means only one unit is selected by any method. We can select by random sampling, simple random sampling method, any one unit from these k units and these k groups, and remaining observations in a sample get automatically selected in our sample. So this is systematic sampling method. Let us take one example. Suppose we are having 100 number of students in a class, and we want to select the 5 students from that 100 students. So sample size is 5. Here we can make n upon n, that is 20 group of students, and each group will contain 5 number of students. So this will be 1 to so on 20, 21, 22 up to 40. Here I have to write 2k, 3k and so on. So 41, 42 up to 60, then 61, 62 up to 80 and 81 to 100. So in this way there are 20 groups and each group contains 5 number of students. So we can randomly select a number from 1 to 20. Okay, suppose the 5th number is selected in my sample. So my first student will be of number 5, then second student will be number, so here we can see that it is a 25, then 45, 65 and 85. So the numbers 5, 25, 45, 65 and 85. So this is my sample from 100 number of students. I have selected the 5 students by using this systematic sampling method. So basically this method tells us that you can only select the one number and other numbers or other units in the sample get automatically selected for your sample. So this is the systematic sampling method. There are some examples related to systematic sampling method. So suppose I want to form the 6 students committee from 60 students. So 60 is the class strength and I want to 6 students in my committee. So I can arrange these 60 students in 10 groups because 60 upon 6 it is a 10. So we can arrange the students in 10 groups and any one group is selected. So my 6 students will get automatically selected in my sample. The next example is if a shopkeeper wants to study the purchasing habits of a customer and he have a bill book. So he can select any numbers or the number of customers from his bill book by using systematic sampling method. Also farms can be selected by using systematic sampling method. So these are some examples of systematic sampling. So there are some drawbacks of this sampling method also. The first drawback is, suppose we are having the systematic sampling and it has hidden periodicities. Means suppose we are going to study the cells of a certain thing and we have annual cells. Okay, and we are going to select the 7th day. So 7th day may be a Sunday. So we are going to select each Sunday in our systematic sample. So this may happen that the cell on Sunday is high. So cell is higher than other days. That's why our conclusions may be faulty. So this is one drawback of systematic sampling. The second drawback is, suppose capital N is not equals to Nk, means it is not integer multiple of Nk, then we cannot form the K groups, okay, by dividing capital N by small n. So in that case we have to use another methods of sampling such as the circular sampling. Okay, so these are some drawbacks of systematic sampling. The next sampling method is cluster sampling method. So cluster means a group of observation. Suppose we are having groups of observation in our population, then we can use the cluster sampling method. So these are some group of observations which are homogeneous, but within the cluster the units are heterogeneous. So these are clusters, and we can select any number of cluster in our sample. So if I select the 2 clusters, then my sample size will be the total number of units in that 2 clusters. Okay, so this is the method. In this method we only select the cluster and all the units in that cluster are included in my sample. So this is, suppose this is my sample and these two clusters I have taken, so all the units from that two clusters will be my sample. So this is the population. Okay, from that population we selected the clusters and all the sample units in that cluster will be my sample units. So this is the cluster sampling method. For example, if we want to survey a village, okay, so in a survey of village, my population will be some districts. Suppose there are 4 districts, we can make them as a clusters. Okay, so these are clusters, they are district. Suppose we select a sample from those districts, that is, if we select these 2 districts, then all the population in that 2 district is my sample. That is, this sample is selected by cluster sampling method. There are also many examples, such as if we are having a packet of screw for inspection, packets of screws for inspection, that is, we want to find the proportion of defectives from that packets of screws. Suppose I will select the 2 packets of screws, then all the number of screws in that 2 packets will be my sample. So this is the cluster sampling method. So there is some difference between cluster sampling and, as previously we learned about, the stratified sampling. So stratified sampling and cluster sampling, so their difference can be stated as so here is the stratified sampling and here is cluster sampling. So first difference is in the method itself, that is, in stratified sampling we select the sample from each stratum. So from each stratum we take some number of sample from each stratum. Okay, so there are stratas, and in cluster sampling, if a cluster is selected, then we are not going to take sample from it, we are going to take that cluster as it is as our sample. So this is the first difference between stratified sampling and cluster sampling. So it is so cluster are selected and all elements in that cluster are inspected. So this is the first basic difference. The second difference, as we can see that in stratified sampling each strata is represented in our sample, but in cluster sampling some clusters may not be included in our sample. So they are the samples in the or the points in that cluster are not represented in our sample. So here it is not so, each cluster is not represented. So this is the second difference for stratified and cluster sampling. So the third difference is in stratified sampling there is a heterogeneous population and we make the homogeneous stratas. Means within that strata the variation is smaller, okay, variation is less within that strata, but here in the case in within the cluster there is a heterogeneity can be seen, okay, or variation is more within the cluster. The fourth difference is that so in between two stratas the variation should be more, and in between two clusters there is variation is less. So this is the next difference, that is fourth difference about the heterogeneity. So within the stratas the variation is more, here within the cluster the variation is comparatively less. And the last difference point between cluster sampling and stratified sampling is that here each strata should be catalogued, okay, so all the number of sampling units should be catalogued here, but here we are taking only few number of clusters, so we can catalog only those elements which whose clusters are selected. So if only the selected clusters, only the selected sample is catalogued in that cluster sampling. So this is the difference between cluster sampling and stratified sampling. Here we can note one thing, that in a cluster if the observations are at some distance point, then it may take a longer time to collect the information or to take the information from that sample. But if the 2 points are neighborhood or near to each other in that cluster, then it will take a smaller time. But actually when the observations are at distant or they can cover all the population. So this is the one benefit of cluster sampling. Also small size of cluster will give us the better result. Small cluster should be of smaller size, so it will give us the better result. There are some examples of cluster samplings which I have told you, that we can select number of packets of screws, and packets of screws can be considered as a clusters. We can also give one example, that suppose area is divided in different zones and we want to select, we can select a particular zone or a number of zones as our cluster, and then we can go for a sampling from that selected zones. If we select the area and it is divided in some regions and we are going to do the cluster sampling, then it is also called as the area sampling also. So this is all about the cluster sampling. The next sampling method is two-stage sampling. So in this method, first we study the population, we make the clusters, and while taking sample, instead of taking the whole cluster in our sample, we can select a sample from that cluster. Okay, so this is these are the units. This is population. It consists of several clusters. So there are n number of clusters. Then we can select clusters from first stage unit. So at first stage we are going to select some clusters. So if these 3 clusters are selected in my first stage sampling, then it becomes a population for next stage. So for next stage, that is second stage, we select a sample from these clusters. Okay, so instead of taking whole cluster as our sample, we are going to do again the sampling. Okay, and in between these we can use any of sampling method. We can use stratified sampling also, or the simple random sampling also, and the method between selecting first stage and second stage may be different. So random sample can be selected by different methods in between these stages. So note that here we are going to take a population which is having several number of groups. We call it as a cluster. Then in a first stage we are going to select some clusters from that population, and in next stage, that is in a second stage, we are going to take sample from the selected clusters. So this is the 2-stage sampling, because here we have used the 2 stages to select the sample. So in this second stage we are having our sample. So this is the method of selecting sample from 2-stage sampling. Suppose there are n number of stages or more than 2 number of stages in selecting sample, then it is called as the multi-stage sampling. So here 2-stage sampling, this method is easy to implement than other methods, and some examples can be given as if we are doing a survey, then this is the population and it consists of n number of districts are there. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Suppose there are 4 districts, then in a first stage we are going to take the districts or the number of clusters can be selected, and in the next stage we are going to select the villages. Okay, we can select the sample of villages from these 2 districts. So in our sample we are having the number of villages as our sample. Here we have used the 2-stage sampling method. This method is easy, and compared to SRS we require the less work. Okay, so in SRS method, that is simple random sampling method, all units should be catalogued. All units, list of units is needed in that sampling method. But here in 2-stage sampling, only the number of clusters we have selected, that units are going to catalogued. So this is the difference between SRS and 2-stage sampling. Here we have learned the sampling methods, which are SRS-WOR, SRS-WR, stratified sampling, systematic sampling, cluster sampling, and finally the 2-stage sampling. So these are some sampling methods included in your syllabus, but there are some limitations of these sampling methods. Let's see one by one. So first limitation of sampling method is if sample size is not adequate, then it does not provide us the good result. So this is the first limitation about the sample size. The second limitation is, suppose we are having smaller population, and there is a there is a proper machinery is provided, and time has no limit. Okay, there is no limit about time and money. So in that case, census method is better than sampling method. So these are limitations of sampling. There is also one limitation, that sample is a perfect representative of population if population is homogeneous. And we can say that if scientific methods are used for sampling, then it will give a perfect representative, that sample will give the perfect representative of the population. So these are some limitations of sampling. Here the second unit, that is population and sample, ends, and we will study the next unit in my next video lecture. Hope you enjoyed my lecture. Thank you.